Alrighty, kids. Happy Thursday. Hope you guys are having a wonderful morning slash evening. Actually, Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Third Fry, guys. Happy Third Fry. Good. Read on that 2-day schedule. Taking care of business, guys. Every day. So tonight we're going to cover Black Ops, we're going to cover the Reddits, and we're going to play some BOF tonight. Not a whole lot's going on. They made some changes to Fortnite, I guess we'll cover that. Nothing really Nothing really super spectacular. Just been playing a lot of HOTS, guys, besides doing things. Kind of interesting. Like always, when you tell people that you're busy, and then they right away act like they are busy. You know, like, just one of these things. Had a couple run-ins, like, of that happening. Is just like, not in particular. It happened a couple times, just even today, from different people. Kind of weird. And obviously there is some legitimacy. Obviously people have their own lives, right? And it's like, when you're doing your own thing, you kind of have to find your, like, in between to actually meet with people, right? To actually, you know, find time, you have to be a little bit flexible. And it seems like the older you get, the less people are flexible. And just not even just talking about just people I'm associating with, but like even your parents, for instance. The older my parents get, the more it definitely seems like they're almost incapable of being remotely flexible. You know, everyone wants to get it their way, right? They want to have things done their own way, no matter what, and it just leads to kind of like this deadlock where just like nothing happens unless you totally give in. You just basically waste away your life. Even highly inefficient, you could just, you know, everyone has like little bits of flexibility in their schedule if they mind to it. Anyways, more interested in the fact that, like, some people like to act like they have a lot going on when they actually don't. It's kind of the thing. It's like, if you actually have something going on and, like, you can't take time to answer messages because you're doing something, and not talking about playing games or anything like this earlier today. I was just taking care of business in the afternoon after I woke up, and kept getting messaged. And I was, you know, it's like one of these things where you just kind of put it off over and over again, and because you're doing other things. I have my mining business, as you guys know, that I take care of, like, religiously, and that's basically whenever I wake up, and then before I go to bed. It's like basically like being on call 24/7, 365. So if people ever say that mining requires no work, maybe at some points it doesn't, but if you actually, you know, give a shit about what's going on, it 100% does. Like right now, for instance, where basically you're barely making any money, if you're making money, but like barely getting by. And like I'm taking care of it, and just keep poking, like people that just keep poking you over and over and over and over again, and you're just like, you know, I'm like, you know, doing like half a dozen other things, and then there's like poke. You know, it's one of the reasons that I don't have a Discord, and I'm not on a Discord 24/7 that you guys are also on, or why I religiously answer social media like Twitter, or I'm on Twitter 24/7, because it's just like someone going poke. Is that going in the right spot, guys? Got to make sure it goes in the right hole there. Poke, a miss. Poke. It's like right in there. Just like whoop. You know, just most annoying thing in the world. and it's just like, and then you eventually, of course, you blow up at them because they keep doing it. They just keep doing it, and you're just like, your mind's just waiting to explode. Then they're like, oh, I didn't know, and then they try to make you feel bad because, you shouldn't, and you shouldn't, like, pissed off at people just because they want to talk to you, but definitely the way it works, especially me. I'm introverted and have been socializing with people constantly, is not my cup of tea. Like, I need time where there's literally a box around me where no one comes in it. And I can have complete control of anything inside that box, like with my mind, just like objects floating shit. But anyways, yeah, just constant poking. But like, it's one of the reasons that generally, when I've played games over the years, people kind of recognize it now that you don't ask to be friends with streamers on their friends list most of the time, unless they're also another streamer. Simply because there's just a lot of fucking people, and you can argue that it's a publicity thing. You're so stuck up. Even if I had streamers asking to be on my friends list, I probably wouldn't. I'm interested in talking with them. There's a lot of people you just add to your friends list and just no reason there. And then of course you got like your viewers, where over the years I've had viewers just constantly try to get on my friends list. Not so much anymore, because obviously my stream isn't nearly as popular as it was before. However, much like with Discord, it's like babysitting. Social media is like babysitting constantly. And I guess maybe people haven't babysat before or something, but it's not fun. It's literally not fun. It's more work, and I already have 2 jobs, and it's one too many. As you guys know, which is why I don't stream as much as I used to, because it's literally work, and I don't get paid. Almost don't get paid for this. As you guys can see, I got some subs. Down there, so I basically make as much as minimum wage in like fucking Uganda. Uganda. Like Uganda. And it is, 6 years is a long time just to basically have 25% of your life go to something that doesn't give you anything back. And the only way I've gone away with that is seeing this as a hobby and possibly future. If my stream ever takes off in a reasonable fashion where I can actually make some real money off of it. However, it's mainly just for fun. I enjoy talking to people. Like on when you're streaming, I very much enjoy conversations. Sometimes people bring up in chat, but like that's when I'm streaming. But like if I'm just like sitting at my computer here and like I'm just sitting there in my like boxers and I've just woke up and I'm like coming out of my cocoon, I'm just like like that, and then someone's like book, and I'm like like one of those things. Yeah, no, that does not do it for me. I need like my isolation. I need to just be like alone and with myself, especially at certain points in the day. Like just some people just hop right on top of you, and gotta dial it back a little bit, just a tiny bit. Bought him a new blanket for his birthday. Likes his old crummy one. Yeah, that's a little bit different. My parents are definitely like that. Like they like their old things because they've had them for so long, and just kind of they get nostalgic about them. I'm sure everyone has parents with the drawer of mismatched silverware. Maybe that's just a Wisconsin thing, but instead of buying like an actual set of silverware, they just pick up like these old things they find, and then they put them in their drawer, and then they use them, and then they wash them because it's value, right? It's like having something. It's like stealing something you didn't pay for and getting so much value out of it. I love fucking value around here in Wisconsin, at least. Kids love value, not kids. Older people love value, anything of value. So. Like my dad, for instance, has a drawer of silverware, and it's just like, it's like, I don't think it ever was a real set of silverware. To be perfectly honest, I don't think it ever was actually real silverware. It's like 6 different sets of silverware. None of the steak knives match, or like the meat knives match. The butter knives all match. Spoons, not really. And then there's just like, a mismatch of just like random serving utensils, and then of course you got the drawer, just random shit there. Yeah, I think the silverware drawer is something that's kind of universal that everyone just kind of has, and it's just fucking terrible. No, I could just go to like Kohl's, Walmart, or wherever and buy Amazon, buy some silverware, and be done with it. But no, nope. And then of course all the knives aren't sharp, and if you ever try to cut meat with it, it's like sawing a fucking butter knife across it. And there's one good sharp knife that he of course uses all the time. So if you ever use any of his silverware, it's just you get the shitty butter knives, steak knives. I don't know. Same thing with plates, although people are better with plates, but it's mainly silverware. It's really weird. It's one of those really weird things which doesn't really make sense. But if you're talking about people getting stuck in their ways and like reusing stuff, my dad, for instance, is a big fan of reusing like Cool Whip containers or ice cream containers as Tupperware. Basically, as a container you put food into and you keep it. Even though those aren't generally made to be washed over and over and over again, because they start seeping plastic, like chemicals out of it, because they aren't like made just be reused forever. I guess, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe because it has food in it in the first place, maybe you can just reuse it. I assume heating and cooling it constantly, equal washing it, is going to ruin it or cause chemicals to seep, but I'm not 100% certain on that. Just finding weird value that and reusing trash bags, for instance. I think more people do that though. Like if you have a trash bin outside, instead of actually dumping the garbage, like taking a trash bag out and throwing it away, like he dumps the trash out of the trash bag into the garbage and then reuses the trash bag. Like takes the whole thing and just dumps it out and then takes it back in. Which I guess is easier. Sometimes that's just easier than putting a new trash bag in. I guess some people really hate that. Or if you don't get the right size trash bags. That can also do it, guys. You have to get the right size trash bags. Yeah, just really fucking weird shit. My mom's like that too. She has weird stuff. I don't know, I think it's just part of getting older. I'm in my mid-30s now, and my parents are in their 60s, so, you know, you can kind of attribute that to what you may... I don't have any young parents. I wonder what it's like to actually have a parent that's like 20 years older than you. Mine are like 30. Like if you can just imagine the generation gap. Like if when you were 10 years old, your parents were still going out and getting rowdy, right? It's like 40s is when everyone turns into the old people. Like old people age bracket. Or they have their second wind where they try to be young again and have a midlife crisis or whatever. But like 40s is where everything calms down. 30s is still, I mean, I'm 34, so at a certain point, yeah, I'm 34. At a certain point, you know, I still feel like I'm 20. To be perfectly honest, I feel like I'm 20. I'm old. I feel like I'm 20 though. I hope I have cyborg bodies when I'm in my 50s, but I don't know. Anyways, it's just like one of these things where it's like some people really, really want a social connection. You can't help them with that. And then the main point I was getting at is like people act like they're busy when they aren't because you act like you're busy. So then they have to artificially act like they're busy because they have a saving face. That was the main go-to point that I was going after there. But anyways, Steam, by the way, I noticed this earlier tonight. Steam actually had... I got my Steam Link, by the way. And I got a Steam Link and a controller, a Steam box controller. I hooked it up to my TV. I hooked my computer up to my big screen TV, and I turned it on. And then I went, wow, you know, I never should have got this because I'm never going to use it. And then I turned it off. And now I have a Steam Link that's just going to sit in another room along with the controller, Steam box controller. Although I can take that with me to like LAN parties and such if we play like some party games or something. I guess that's the main reason I got it. The interesting thing here, why do I have Montero in my... I don't know what this is. Montero, guys. I'd buy this. I don't think I bought this. I think someone gifted this to me. Yeah, is this the Doge game? They have their panties? Montero is a doge. Montero is a casual runner game that was created to heal your heart. Random generated street levels, lift up girls' skirts, and protect your doge by panties. Collect doge coins to unlock every 8 doge costumes, doge emoticons, and background. Heal your heart. Protect your doge, lift up high school girls' panties. I believe that's sexual harassment. I don't know if we're being correct here. Heal your heart with sexual harassment. Roll the story there. Anyways, what I was looking for before we got distracted here was Steam. For some fucking reason, this was doing 10% earlier tonight when I noticed it. Just sitting on the Steam webpage, they got something here fucking eating CPU cycles again. But when I went to the library, it fixed itself, and it did. It unloads the UI. But if you do small mode, and it's still on the store, it'll still eat CPU cycles. Steam is like a monstrosity, absolute monstrosity. I'm pretty sure no one there actually talks to each other that works on it. It's just a bunch of people sitting in cubicles that don't care. Like, they come into work and clip their fingernails and such and do like 5 minutes of work every day. Anyways. My ping is absolutely fucking horrid tonight. I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. They must be working on some routing issues, cause yeah. This is about 15 ms worse than it should be. 20 ms worse than it should be. 23 ms worse than it should be. I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. London ping's about normal, though. About 10 ms worse. Yeah, anyways. I might have a disconnect issue here. It depends on what they're working on, but definitely something weird is going on with my Lancy. Hopefully it doesn't make me rage in my games, which probably will. BoF isn't really that bad at Lancy, though. So they did some weird stuff here. Account merge, they've talked about for a while here, and not really a big deal, but they talked about delaying account merging until next year, early next year, which is kind of ridiculous. That's a really long delay. So whatever's going on here must be due to a contract of some sort. Yeah, kind of weird. Like, people are like, just, you know, it's better if you take time to do it than do it fast. But kind of the weird thing here is, like, they're talking about early next year, which is a really time. Oh, they actually have a post on this. Weird. Make technical posts on really weird issues. Our previous blog about account linking, we stated in November we're going to release account merging system so you can combine multiple console-linked accounts to transfer Battle Royale cosmetic items purchased. Lifetime wins V-Bucks and Save the World campaign access. Due to some ongoing technical concerns, we'll be delaying the account merge feature until early next year. We want to make sure this process is thoroughly tested and working properly before we release it. Those of you currently looking to transfer purchases from one account to your primary account, we'll be sure to update you as soon as we get to the release of this feature. We'll include webpage on launch help guide and help you through the flow. Thank you for your patience while we continue to work completing this tool. Very weird. It's going to take them like 2 months. Possibly 2 months. Polish this out early next year. I assume it's like February. Who knows? Weird. I'm pretty sure this is due to a contract issue, like with Xbox or Microsoft, or Sony, or with other consoles where they have to, you know, work not the technical. They have to work litigation, like a Basically like a contract issue. You have to wait for one to expire or the terms to come up so they can renegotiate the terms. Kind of weird. Can't imagine this taking like 2 more months. Just who knows. Anyways, so they had some weird stuff going on here with glider replay. Glider replay was re-enabled accidentally, quote unquote accidentally, in the main game after they removed it, and they fixed it like immediately with a hotfix. And this last patch, they actually reduced the speed of the gliders. They reduced the speed of the gliders, and then now this is actually higher speed for the glider than was originally in the game, or before they nerfed it. So I'm not actually sure what exactly they're doing here. There aren't a lot of game modes that actually have glider replay. There's like besides the special LTM ones. There's jump pads though. Jump pads use glider replay. Very weird. Not exactly sure what to think. A lot of really weird stuff. Legitimately felt slower than walking. I would jump off a structure and wait till it was 3 to 5 stories above the ground before we redeploy because I didn't want to spend an instant longer gliding than I had to. People were getting shot out of the air. This is what you're playing off stream. No, I actually play HOTS off stream right now. I play a lot of HOTS. HOTS is a fun game. I've just been basically cycling through heroes after I get done or get tired of one. I'll just start up on a new hero that I haven't tried before or looks kind of interesting. Like watching paint dry. Apparently things are really bad. I don't play LTMs though. I've never really played LTMs. And so they nerfed the glider redeploy, and now it was so bad that they had to re-enable it. Make it better. They did the monster math. Is this actually actually a Reddit? Oh yeah, it's just like math mistakes, common math mistakes. Interesting. So acceleration is a buff, otherwise it's just the same. Interesting. Season 7, please don't do multi-stage challenges again. Honestly, they're not hard, they're just tedious and absolutely annoying. It's even worse than you have to wait until the next match to be able to do the next stage. Just retire these multi-stage challenges. I have noticed, like, when I stopped playing Fortnite, basically, like, the last season that I actually went and did the challenges for was right before they started making challenges more complicated. And I guess, Multi-stage challenges are one of those. Weird. Tornado Temple to Greasy in the same match. They actually had these back when I was still playing. However, they weren't really that big of a deal. I guess when you actually want to, like when I did the challenges, I always did them on the last week, and then I just plowed through them. But I guess people here aren't really seeing it as like an objective. They wanted something that they just normally talking about. I can kind of get that, but like, you know, it's supposed to be a challenge or something weird or different that you're actually doing. Are you good at HOTS? I'm alright at HOTS. I don't play ranked games. Fuck ranked games. I'm done with ranked games. Overwatch killed that shit for me. I actually can get on a... I don't want to be on an esports team though, so I guess it's kind of pointless. When Walmart attempts to fit in without knowing anything about the game. Imagine Fortnite creating a map that included Walmart. There'd be supplies, rare skin sprays, and other inventory. Wait a minute. Chris, that sounds dope. Retail row in Fortnite. Who forgets to turn off cheats? What? Yeah, so as I've talked about before, it's actually legal to stream on YouTube gaming and cheat at the same time. Occasionally you see this shit pop up on Twitch. However, I'm guessing by this he's a YouTube streamer. You can see like weird shit happening with his game just right now. You fucking... And this is just for aimbot. You can have a wall hack on. If you stream from the same PC, you can have a wall hack on. And people won't be able to see it on your screen, even though you can see it. Yep. Cheating's a thing, guys. This is just the most recent example. Normally they don't pop up in Reddits. These turn into witch hunts. So they just delete the post right away. Money's weighs in on Food Wars, LTM. It's funny that all these big corporations are actually noticing Fortnite and actually pretending they're interested in it now. Fucking hilarious. Because Der Burger is full of freezers and we don't clown around with the frozen beef. Never join Team Burger because Der Burger is full of freezers and we don't clown around with frozen beef. Now we'll officially declare Team Pizza and start the real fight. We're on frozen beef. And Dorno, thoughts on frozen pizza? Funny. It's funny that they do shit like this. Whatever gets them the most views, guys. These guys are hired to do this shit. Because marketing. You. Funny stuff though. Hired people. It's kind of weird that like they've never actually used Twitter accounts for stuff like this up until like recently, where they started doing, well, not recently, 5 years or so, where they actually started doing, you know, they'd actually seem like a person even though it's a company. And kids love it because you don't think of companies that way, that they actually have a voice, right? Like it's a person, but then they just make it seem that way. Let's see here. That's kind of clever. One Tommy pain, one Tommy patience, one Tommy love. Quality of the weapon. Ha ha ha. Low Lancy gun right there. Check. Well, all those guns are actually. Not as much as a heavy shotgun, which no one likes because in order to actually use it well, you have to have a low ping. Until Fortnite actually fixes their shit. Only my son discovered that his skin concept became a reality in Fortnite. Oh my god, a reaction video. This is why you do it. By the way, we covered this probably 3 months ago. This guy, like everyone likes doing this. They make a doodle and they put a touching story of what's happening onto the internet, and then they expect like the company basically just to do it for them. Like someone just made what was the most recent one on Fortnite on the Reddits? It's almost like moral terrorism, to be perfectly honest. Moral terrorism, because you're almost basically coerced into doing it. And if you don't do it, you kind of look bad. But if you do it, you do look good. And it's not necessarily bad because you can add stuff to the game. It doesn't really hurt the game anyways. But at the same time, you just kind of end up getting strong-armed into doing it. The most recent one was with a guy who had a dog for 14 years or something like that. Forgot his name, but his dog died. And he wanted a dog backpack. He's like, please help me remember my Doge by adding a backpack. And then he made like a mock-up of what it looks like with like a little... It's one of those little guys with like the black and white. He looks almost like a pit bull, but it's not a pit bull. Like a one with the like Tom and Jerry sort of shit. Little ones, bulldog. There we go, bulldog. Had to think about that for a bit. Sometimes the words, you know, just go. But anyways, bulldog kind of looks like a bulldog, but it's I don't remember the name of it. It's kind of like a bulldog, but kind of like a pit bull. It's got like the white and gray face, and you guys probably seen them. Anyways, they tried to make it into a backpack, and they're like, "Oh, it looks so cute," and they got like 10,000 upvotes because of John Doe and his lost Doge, you know, Brad or something. I don't fucking know. George, his lost Doge George is dead now. But anyways. This happened a couple months ago. It was literally a kid drew like a crayon drawing, and Fortnite's like, or not Fortnite, the guy was like, oh, my son's been bothering me for so long because he wants the skin in the game. Please add it to the game. It'd be, you know, it would be, no, it wasn't a pug. Pugs are weird abomination Frankenstein dogs, but he's like, please add it to the game. My son would be so happy. Oh, you know, like one of those things. And now, like, it's going to eventually reach a point where then there's people with real illnesses, with real things, you know, happening with them. And, like, they're going to want, you know, like, Make-A-Wish Foundation sort of thing. And then they're going to want their stuff into it, and then the company's going to have to do it. But, like, this is up there, and it's not really wrong for Epic to do it. But at the same time, you know, look, it's his skin. Wow, they snapped a photo. Yay. It kind of makes sense because, I mean, there's already the tomato head and there's a Durburger costume in there, so why wouldn't there be some sort of chicken guy in there? And they kind of fit in with the theme anyways, and they made a kid happy, and then they got 46,000 upvotes on Reddits. But, as I mentioned before, moral terrorism, where you feel like you have to do it or you look bad if you don't do something. My wallet only opens for perfect collision. Not in the right spot. 150 upvotes. Good for him. Yeah. So not a whole lot going on in Fortnite. That's to be expected. As the weekend rolls around, Reddit's become dead, as there isn't really any video game development going on. What's going on the Overwatch Reddits, guys? When everything falls in just the right place. Pachi. Pachi. Why does this have 7,000 upvotes? What? I guess when no one actually pays attention to her? Yeah. I mean, good for him. He basically killed the majority of the team in Diamond that basically was not remotely paying attention to him. Overwatch League caster Monte Cristo's now married to the General Master. She's the London Spitfire. Let's congratulate them. Aww, it was a live stream. Aww. Aww. Yeah. Roadhog takeoff denied. What? Is it attached to something? Oh, it was a basketball. What the fuck? Sometimes the physics in Overwatch just completely derp out, especially when something's attached to them. So with a physics item like a basketball, like Zarya's bubble actually attaches to it. Zarya's ball attaches to it, but since it also pulls items, it was like pulling the ball, and it just happened to go up in there. Yep, good. Okay. Maybe in Satanic? Yep. So when you finally get up, like May stops working right about when you get into Grandmaster. She just doesn't work at all. Every time you just like appear, people just shit on you, and you can't freeze anyone in her ult at all. And then like you have to wonder, that wasn't like a count match, but like the game has an internal matchmake built in, so people just end up at weird MMRs, and shit like that happens, like where people just aren't paying attention. You can totally tell it's like May can walk into the middle of an entire group of people, throw down her ult, and they all freeze. Like something I haven't been able to do probably since like pre-season 1. Even season 1, maybe. And Overwatch is dead. Let's look at the both Reddits, guys. Anything going on here? 27th update. We looked at that. This man must be a god. TA just told our lab group he'd give us a A for the semester if we can beat him 3v1 in Black Ops 4. What's going on with those eyes? Also, what kind of lab is this? That looks like a high-speed camera. Infrared camera or something. That was literally a whole tangent about negative 1,300 points. It was a whole tangent about him spell checking the guy above him, or grammar checking, I guess. Wow. Negative 1,300 votes. Spelled opportunities, and he has 3 times the amount. Interesting. Like, it doesn't matter how many deaths he has, it matters how many kills he gets. Think of that. People harping on for Overwatch comments. Relax, it really do be like that sometimes. Okay. Yeah? How the fuck did this get 16,000 upvotes? All it is it's the guy harping on the microtransaction system. People just want the free things, guys. That's all it is. Give me my free things. They see me rolling. Yeah. Good. I'm sick of seeing remastered maps that don't play well in Black Ops 4, and I want to feel like I'm playing a new game, not the same one from 8 years ago. It's actually kind of a little bit of truth to that, not just in Black Ops, but in any game. Remastered maps is like a nostalgia thing, because you want to play maps that you've played before, because you think they're going to be cool, and you want to remember the glory days, more or less. But there is a little bit here, not only because it takes a little bit more effort to make new maps, but also because it just makes it feel like the game's old to a certain extent. And Black Ops obviously isn't the only game that does remaster maps. However, they definitely do them. So this is unlocks for unlocking heroes, which I don't really care about. Getting some Wraith Flare or Acid Bomb. This must be like, it must be particular to certain game modes. Still not interested about unlocking characters.